Over here, an extension, and there are also two knobs over here, and these knobs control the mechanical stage. You can see that over here we've got the slide clipped into place, and by turning the lower knobs I'm able to move the slide left, right, and by turning the top knob I can move the slide in a vertical position. This is very practical and convenient, especially if you want to use the microscope over extended periods. You can essentially rest your hand here, and you can operate the position of the specimen. But the real advantage is that it allows you to find a specific position over and over again. Over here on the left side you can see that there is a scale, and when I turn the top knob of the mechanical stage, which moves the slide in a vertical direction, you can see that this part here is of course at rest, and the position of the stage can be read off here on the scale. This system allows a precision of 1/10 of a millimeter, which is good enough. And this way you're able to if you write down the coordinates, you have got also one for the opposite, for the other movement, for the horizontal movement, and if you write down the two coordinates, it's not a problem of finding the position again. Here on the left coarse focus knob, we have also a so-called focus lock lever, and that's I think frequently overlooked but very practical little installment here. It allows you to lock the focus. Essentially, it means the following. If you do not, right now I'm able to turn the coarse focus knob into both directions. And if I found an optimum position, let's say it's in focus here, I can lock the focus by moving the lever down, and then I'm not able to turn it further than this setting over here. I'm able to turn it to one direction, but not into the other one anymore. So it is locked, so I cannot move the stage up further. This is also a security system so that I'm not able to crash the stage into the objective. And if I want to release it again, I have to move it all the way back again, and then I'm able to move it again freely into both directions. This microscope has a so-called trinocular head, binocular eyes for the left and the right eye, and up here a third exit, and this third exit is used for mounting a photo camera. And unfortunately you're not able to see this yet, so I'm going to quickly pan up a little bit. I think it's going to be a little bit shaky. So here you see the photo tube, and here a reflex camera mounted at the very top. We're going to have a look at this system right now. So first of all, it's a commercial reflex camera, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to remove this part here by turning it, carefully turning it. There is also an adapter ring, and I'm removing it. Okay, you always have to be careful that there's no dust entering the system. And I'm going to put this away. Here at the top I've got a so-called T2 adapter ring, because different brands of digital cameras or even analog cameras need a different adapter ring. So this is a so-called T2 adapter ring. We're going to move down a little bit again. Okay, so here we see the trinocular head again. I'm going to now release this knob here a little bit, and this allows me to turn the whole camera system. And there's also a second knob here, and this knob, by loosening this knob, I'm able to remove the whole system from the trinocular head. I'm going to do this right now. Gotta be careful. There is also an eyepiece, photo projection ocular in here. So we gotta be careful with this here. I'm going to remove this now. Okay, here's the whole photo tube with the projection ocular, which you were just not able to see because it was out of the field of sight of the camera. And this photo projection ocular is down here. And I'm going to now remove the top part of the tube, and we're going to have a closer look at the whole thing. Be careful, never use any force when dealing with technical equipment. I'm going to put this one away. And in here we've got a specialized projection ocular, which focuses the light into the camera. So instead of using an objective of the camera, we're actually using entirely the optical system of the microscope. This one is especially designed for photographic work. So these are the different parts of the phototube. And of course, I nearly forgot that, you also want to see, of course, the T2 adapter ring removed. You can get a T2 adapter ring for pretty much, I would say, every camera system that there is. Okay, and you can see that this wedding here is already a little bit worn off. I actually managed to damage this when I got it newly because of the friction was so high. I actually managed to damage this wedding here a little bit. Also, you have to be a little bit careful. Over here to the side of the triocular head, you see another little extension over here, another little lever, and this lever is important for directing the light out towards the camera. So I'm holding here a little piece of paper over here, and you can see that if I pull the lever, you can actually see that there's now light going out of this of the phototube here. Okay, so this allows me to redirect or to split the light between the eyepieces and the photo camera. So we're going to have another look here. We did not talk about the eyepieces yet, and it's going to be the next thing that I'm going to talk about. Over here, the two eyepieces, but of course, never forget, we want to cap the whole thing here, otherwise we're going to have some dust falling into the system. It is possible to adjust the distance of the two eyes by pulling or compressing this part over here. And the eyepieces also have something to pull out here. Now, why is this very convenient? People who do not use eyeglasses will probably want to extend the eyepieces in such a way that you have an optimum distance between the lens system and your eyes. So these are nothing more like distance holders, and they keep your eyes essentially away from the front lens, and this also keeps the front lens a little cleaner. Otherwise there's going to be too much fat collecting on here. You got to be careful. It is possible to very easily remove the eyepieces like this. Okay, so when you're moving the microscope or when you're transporting it, be aware that essentially they're not screwed into the system here, but are actually just loosely inserted. So the other one as well. There's always the danger that they fall out. Now, either one or both of them have a so-called diopter adjustment. This means this one, in this case the left one, I can rotate in and out. The other one I cannot do that. And this allows me to adjust in different, if my two eyes, if I'm short, for example, I'm short-sighted and one eye is worse than the other one, I'm able to actually adjust the differences in vision by turning the left one of the two eyepieces. But generally, if I use eyeglasses, then both of them should be set to the same adjustment. So I think the last thing that we have to talk about is I just quickly want to show you how to exchange the lamp. And I think this should complete the basic introduction then. But let's first turn off the lights here again, and let's turn the microscope upside down to have a look at the lamp. I removed the eyepieces, I unplugged the microscope, and now we're having a look at the bottom of the microscope, at the base. And I'm just going to show you where you can find the lamp. Of course, every brand of microscope is different, but the lamp is hidden in here. I'm going to pull out this little button over here, and I can flip it down here, and you can see the lamp over here. Never ever touch it, because the fat of your fingers will burn into the glass, and it will also result in a lower light intensity, and it may actually also break the lamp. So you should never touch the lamp. These are standardized lamps that you can essentially exchange by just pulling it out and putting in a new one. And I'm just going to close the whole system again. Okay, this was it. And we can now turn the microscope right side up again.